Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up. Yes, my neck does not hurt. My arm does not hurt. It took a week and some, but finally, I just have to be very careful since I have spinal stenosis with nerve compression at any point that things can go south. The lighting may be weird. I just realized I have a light up here that's on. I also just looked up there and realized I'd forgotten to take I have a bit of cardstock paper over the light to make it a more diffuse instead of direct light. I've left it up there. Here's if I turn on my bathroom light. So there, blinky. So past that, you know, here's my whole lighting situation. But I have just been doing what I can to survive. You know, treating my arm as best as possible. I mean, I still went to bed last night with my pillow in front of me, the pillow that went, you know, leaning on that and over my body, so that my arm stayed up on the pillow. I still stayed on my right side. So that's one of the reasons my arm is doing well. But I am glad, so I just gotta make sure I don't stress out my body. One of the things I've been doing is, well, I said I've been trying to not use my walker as much. Unfortunately, I've been not using my walker as much when I've been carrying things. And carrying things using this arm primarily. So guess what? I better not do that. I've been using my walker, of course, since I can't carry anything, since this was just nightmare murder for the past week. But feeling better, that's a good thing. Past that, I mean, it has just been rain, rain, rain. I have not been able to go out and do much. I had to put my shoes in front of the heater all night because when I got back from my short walkies, I just walked from here to Walmart and back. And you know what happened? My shoes were soaked. My feet were soaked. I do need new shoes. There are holes in the bottoms of these ones. They've lasted longer than most, but I went homeless for a while, and I have not been able to walk the normal 6 miles I do every single day. I've been lucky if I've been able to get 1 or 2 miles in on a daily basis. Bad weather, primarily. And having to be careful, the spinal stenosis, I need to get in to see the doc. I got issues with pain and stuff, you know, in an area on my back that could be a whole raft of issues, which I've mentioned before. You know, it could be a kidney issue, could be a skin cancer issue, could be a lung issue. And it also could be because I've got scoliosis there that shoves everything forward and makes everything in this area hurt right in that area. So it could be just the scoliosis, or the scoliosis pain just could be masking something that's going to kill me in a week. Well, not a week. Thing is though, at 61, my views on life have changed in that when I was 20 years old, 30 years old, it was like, if I can't live as long as possible, then I'm being robbed. Now at 61, I look at it as like, we are born to die. None of us gets out of this one alive. At some point, we're going to release our carefully hoarded resources back to the world. And if I live 50 years, or if I live 90 years, in 100 years, doesn't make a difference. In 1,000 years, especially no difference. In 1,000,000, any difference at all? How about 1,000,000,000 years from now? How about 1,000,000,000,000 years from now? Does any of that make a difference? I mean, does it even make a difference now, a year after I die? No. No. We're just another species on the planet doing what we do, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good. And whether you, technically, if you just look at it from a non-human point of view, doesn't matter when you live or die. That's why I've been able to try and look outside of my own head to understand viewpoints that I don't agree with, but understand them. Sidetrack that I'll probably never be able to come back to when I say that Because one of the things I've talked with others about is I've been able to understand, though I do not agree with, the idea that if you do not kill something, just like if you're out walking and you have the opportunity to kill a deer and leave it to rot in the woods, if you don't do that, you're being selfish. Because that one deer to stay alive, how many resources does it take to keep that deer alive? Every single year. That's a lot of resources to keep one creature alive. But if you kill that creature and it releases its carefully hoarded resources back into the world, look at all of the life you are sustaining. You are bringing forth all those resources, all the recyclers come out, the recyclers get eaten, a whole raft of life goes out. Plant life bursts up where the body was. That's all good. You are being selfish if you do not help carefully hoarded resources be resource released back into the world. Do I believe that? Do I agree with it? No, but I understand the viewpoint. Now, as stated, I can't exactly remember what I was talking about, and I knew that was going to happen. I remember I had wet feet. I was talking about that and the weather. So I'll jump back to that anyway. No, because of the weather, I'm not going out and doing as much stuff. I've mentioned before that, with my age, and all of my medications I take, and, in many cases, declining physical abilities, it's not safe for me to go out in a lot of places. If it gets icy, I don't want to fall down. If it's really slick, I don't want to fall down. So, and I remembered now. It's like, yeah, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about is just rationalizing so that I'm getting myself used to end of life. I mean, technically, it doesn't matter if you get used to the idea of end of life, because it's going to happen anyway. After all, I can't remember where it was anymore. I can't remember the nation. But this one fellow, he was very old. He was getting up on stage to make a speech at some kind of like Nazi thing. Very unpleasant type person. I'll probably have to edit that out for demonetization if I remember. Probably won't be able to remember, but he got up on stage and then his eyes rolled up and he fell down and he was dead. It's like, whether you're reconciled to it, whether you're ready for it, whether you're prepared in any way, shape, or form, ain't gonna slow it down when it happens. So you can do all the work, or you might not do any of the work, and in the end, does it matter? But I don't want to be too depressing. Thumbs up. And if you have watched and continue to watch my videos and individual videos like this one, when I talk about stuff that is unpleasant, thank you so very much. It is appreciated. I talk about the stuff to get it out of my head so it doesn't fester. In some cases, if I don't, it's going to be bad. In some cases, it's just something that's like, oh, it's kind of bugging me. It's just bugging me. And it's not big, it's not major, it's just a minor irritation over a long period of time. So I just get it out anyway. Yay! Whew, a little out of breath. I need to get out and exercise more. Hopefully it will stop raining soon, because I don't want to slide and fall down on slick, decaying stuff. I have still, as stated, been trying to write things. I haven't, I don't think, except for, no, I have. I did some more work on that one stupid story, and it's turned really stupid. I had mentioned before that it's like generic fantasy stuff. Well, I decided that, since I enjoy snake lore, let's try and put in the snake lore anyway, except I didn't want to actually do that, so I've been fighting myself with it. Where it's, yes, the snake is the sixth member of the party. And everyone's cool with it, and the snake's obviously eaten someone before it even joined the party. And everyone is treating this snake like it's just normal. So it's like, okay, they're getting ready for the adventure. They're having to go out. So in this inn, they've rented rooms, but there's only 5 rooms. So they have to double up with some of the people. And so it's Poggers, the halfling rogue, that ends up roommates with the snake. The snake couldn't be in its own room and you double up all the people. No, it just ended up she's partners with the snake, so she ends up in the room with the snake. And so it's where it's time for the night and they're getting ready for sleep, and she prepares herself and there's no room, so you know she's gonna get eaten. But it's the next day, she's not, and they turn out to be fast friends. So like I said, it's weird. It's not intended to be anything serious. It's just practice to get writing stuff done. Instead of having stuff up here, actually writing it out. Like, I can't remember now. Oh, I did, so I can't do it again. But it's like, oh, hokey smokes. I was going to do the whole, using your imagination for solo gaming stuff. But I'm going to talk about some solo gaming stuff, because I did write some things down on my topics list, but only one thing. Because last night I played the game 8-Bit Dungeon again, just for myself. And it went just as well as it did as the game I played for the channel. I died horrifically. It is a good game, except it suffers from extreme RNG. It's all RNG. And while other things are too, the options are lesser and the stakes are higher. Because you can turn over as your very first card on the deck, excuse me, a very hard, very tough monster that could kill you in one blow. And the only choice you have is to flee, and when you're going to do that, you have to roll a 6-sided die, and if you roll a 1, you escape, and if you roll anything else, you take as much damage as it can give you. And it's just, even if you don't, the battles were deadly, and the rewards were few, and I died in the dungeon again. It's fun. It's quick. Don't expect anything deep. But it's not a thing I'm going to be playing a lot because of the lack of, strategic and tactical options. If you watch the video on One Deck Dungeon, you've seen that, you can turn over 4 cards, and then if you turn over a card, you can either engage with it or withdraw, no penalties, but eventually you're going to end up with 4 cards on the table that one of them you're going to have to deal with even if you don't want to. But you're able to pick up items and stuff, and the difference is clear, but it also runs real fast. And of course, the age of games doesn't matter. The One Deck Dungeon is from like 2016 or so. So it's an older game, but it's also still a blast. Definitely a thumbs up. And one of the things that I was not upset about, but disappointed about, was I have sleeves for my normal size cards in the games that I have. But they also have these smaller cards, and I've been looking, I had looked online quickly, not knowing what to look for sleeves, and couldn't find any. But on Board Game Geek, they have a whole page of different sizes of different sleeves down to the millimeter, so that you can order them and get all of your cards sleeved. Now, there is one person that runs a channel about board games where they say one of the big things that you need to be careful of is a speed bump, a pitfall for board gaming is don't worry about sleeving all your cards. So, yeah and no. I mean, I want to sleeve mine because I've got oily skin and I tend to get stuff, just because of that. I get cards, fingerprints on cards and such like that. So, sleeves are better, especially if you're going to be using them and taking them out and flipping them around and such a lot, which is why I have sleeved all of my Final Girl normal size cards, and I'm going to be sleeving now as soon as the 3rd of next month comes around. I can order them. I'm going to sleeve all of the smaller cards too, and that'll be good. The idea being, I just want them to last. I'm not trying to protect art. I'm not trying to keep the cards pristine. I'm just trying to make sure that the difference between the card's useless in 2 years versus the card lasts 5 to 10 years. That's the side I'm interested about. So past that, I am just going to be going out walkies here. I'm going to edit, render, upload this, go out walkies. I need to buy food. I ate the last of my food again this morning. And again, when I say I ate the last of my food, technically that's not true. I still have flavorless, plain mashed potatoes with nothing to put on them. So I'm not going to eat plain, boring mashed potatoes unless I'm literally starving. So I'm going to go out and get some food that I will actually eat, like chili or, some fruit. Not peaches, unless I'm chewing with these. So I don't want to risk death again. I mean, again, I do want to get one of those Born to Die t-shirts. I'm a little old for it. That's something you should wear when you're young, but it's still true. We're all born to die. Ain't none of us will get us out of this alive. How's that for that? So, if you are again, I blame the gabapentin. I mean, as a human being, I am going to naturally have occasionally garbled speech when I have thought A, then thought B, for both of them trying to say something at the same time, going to have issues. But gabapentin also does that, and right now I'm blaming the gabapentin. So, what was I saying beforehand? Let's see if I can remember. If you are one of my Patreon patrons, I am sorry that I do not have you all up on the list on the screen yet. It will happen, but until that day, you know who you are when you look in the mirror, and who you are is a beautiful and awesome person. Thumbs up and thank you so very much. You're saving me from becoming a very hurtin' monkey, and it is appreciated. For everybody that leaves me comments, thumbs up, thank you, it is appreciated. I read every single one of them, even though I can answer only very, very few of them. I have executive function and dysfunction issues, and so that's fun. I do my very best, and if I can't answer in comment, I try to answer roughly in video, and if I can't do that, well, remember, I do read and appreciate every comment. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. I'm going to reach over and just for giggles, it's on a timer. No other switch in the house is on a timer in the house. In my apartment is on a timer, but the bathroom is. There have been so many times that I've been sitting in there when suddenly click, and every single time I'm taking a shower, I forget to set it for an hour, and I'm doing stuff and click. Anyway, you take care. I'll see you on the flip side, and now I'm going to reach forward and hit the stop recording button on screen.